Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Ladies and gentlemen, today I am happy to introduce you to the Oupes 2400 Portable Power Station, or as you all know, I like to call these machines solar generators. Oupes was kind enough to send me this unit so that I can review it for you. And in this video, I will be reviewing it and telling you all about the things that I like and things that I don't like about it. However, ladies and gentlemen, spoiler alert, this is a great machine, and there is not much at all that I don't like about it, and can honestly tell you that it is right up there in the top 2 or even 1 spot for all of the solar generators that I currently own. This Oupes is just like the 1800 that I reviewed before, with the exception that, ladies and gentlemen, this thing is a powerhouse. I really like the 1800, but this 2400, man, I'll tell you what, I am so very happy that I was given the opportunity to review this for you all. And it's pretty much the same thing as the other ones that I've reviewed are. Very simple, which makes me very happy. This machine in total has 5 buttons. 4 buttons in the front and 1 in the back. And I'll show you how the light works with that button. But your power button is just a long hold button right here. As soon as you hold it for about 3 or 4 seconds or so, it turns on. It has your garden variety USB chargers along with your PD USB chargers that go up to 60 watts. It has your DC button, which enables your USB ports. And as soon as you press it, you don't need to do a long hold. All you need to do is a short hold on this, and you'll see that it will indicate that this section is ready to be used. You can see as soon as I press that button, it lets you know that you're using the USB section. It lets you know how many hours is left. And the reason why it says 99 hours is because it is using a little bit of energy, but it doesn't have 3 digits. So if you just turned it on and left it on like this, it will last a lot longer than 99 hours. It just has a 2-digit panel right here. Same thing with your AC. So this here is what's called your DC, and it is labeled DC. Your AC is like your wall plugs. It comes equipped with 5 of them. And I forgot to mention that this will put out a continuous 2400 watts pure sine wave. Continuous, ladies and gentlemen. So not only can I run one saw out there, but I can run a saw and I can run my air compressor at the same time. I don't recommend that you use this for taking it out to a work site and working on it, unless the work site that you're at is remote and you can't really get electricity out there. This is much easier to use on a work site than an actual generator that takes gasoline. And I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, this will last a day. This will last a day if you're using like an air compressor or a hose or, you know, any power tools that you're using out there, because it has that much storable power. To turn on your AC right here, it's the same thing. It's just a quick press, and you can see that it turned on right there, indicating that your AC is ready to use. And your other button here is your other DC port, which turns on your garden variety, like car cigarette lighter, along with your other 2 12-volt ports. And this is just a quick press as well. Check it out. See, as soon as I press it, it turns on there. To turn it off, just quick press off. And then to turn the machine off, you long press the power button and it'll power down. Simple as that. Very, very simple to operate. The battery that it has in it is, like I said, a 2200 32 watt-hour lithium iron phosphate battery, which is rated for 2500 or more cycles from 0 to 100. So you can charge this every single day from 0 for 2500 cycles. However, once you've run it through 2500 cycles, it doesn't mean that you throw the machine away. It just means that by that time, your battery will start losing a little bit of charging capacity, which means that instead of it charging to like 100%, it may only charge to 95 or 90%. So if you take 2500 cycles and you divide it by 365, that's like 7 years or something like that. 7 years or so. If you were to use it for 7 years straight, you would be able to discharge and charge it every single day and still have capacity left after that 7 years. Let me go ahead and show you how the light in the back works. One of the things that I can't say I don't like about it, but it's something that I would like that they did instead, is that in order to use the lamp that's located in the back, it has to be powered on. So if you don't have it powered on, the lamp is not going to work. So let's go ahead and check out the lamp right now. So for those of you that may have problems with bright lights, just be aware that I'm going to turn this on, and this is going to be pretty bright. I'll try to block it off a little bit on the screen while it's on. That way it won't bother you too much if you didn't listen to what I just said. But very simple, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you why I would like for this lamp back here to be able to turn on without it being powered on. If you have a power outage and you don't have any other flashlights, let's say, all right, let's say that for a scenario, and you needed to get some light, then all you would have to do is just turn the button on and the light will come on. But in this case, you have to have the machine powered on in order for the light to work. You don't have to have any of the ports engaged, like your AC or DC ports engaged, but you do have to have the machine on. And to turn it on, all you need to do is very simple. You press on a button. That's it. That's high. It gives you an SOS, which, I mean, you could probably hear it in my voice. I really like this machine. This machine is awesome. And that's it. So you got low, you got high, you got SOS. And then your third click, it turns off. Well, how do you charge it, AP? Well, I'm going to show you right now how to charge it, the ports that you need to charge it. And Oupes did a good thing. So let me explain to you about the last Oupes solar generator that I reviewed, the 1800. One of my complaints was that it had 2 ports, okay? That it had 2 of these 7909 input ports to be able to charge it off the wall. Each block that it comes with is able to go in the wall and in one of these ports. And each block will charge at around 180 or so watts. Now it's rated for 200 watts per port, and the blocks are rated for 200 watts each. However, you know, you lose a little bit of energy when it goes to the wires and the block, etc. So usually it'll give you about 180 or so watts coming in from each port. I told myself, and I even mentioned this during that review video, that I wish they would just have one port with a block that can handle like 400 watts. But after trying this one out, I asked myself, I was like, you know what? What's prepping about? It's about having redundancy. And I'm kind of glad that they left it like this, where they have 2 different ports. Because if for some reason one port goes bad or the block goes bad, you have another one to fall back on. And although you won't be able to charge it off the wall at up to 400 watts, you're still going to be able to charge it at up to 200 watts. So that makes sense to me. They did the same thing with these 2 Anderson connectors. And with the Anderson connectors, you use those to hook up to the solar panel. Now, it doesn't mean that you can only use the Anderson connectors to hook up to the solar panels. It just means that you have this additional option. Now, these here are 8mm ports, and these obviously are Anderson connectors. And here, when I take the solar panels out of the boxes, I will show you what they look like along with the Anderson connectors that it comes with. Now let's talk about redundancy again. Let's say something happens to your Anderson connector. You lose it, it breaks or whatever. Now, the solar panels that it comes with have an 8mm connection that actually connect to the Anderson splitter. You can actually take those solar panels one at a time and hook it up into each port and be able to charge this at up to about 400 watts per hour, as long as you have one solar panel plugged in per port. I actually think it's a good thing that they doubled up. In a way, they quadrupled up. Because if something happens, you know, you'll always be able to at least use one of these ports to power up this machine, either through your AC or using solar. And wait till I show you their solar panels. They're awesome. Now, a couple of the things that I went ahead and used this for to test it out was, I always use this on my refrigerator because I have a big refrigerator. It's about 25.5 cubic feet. And it normally draws anywhere between 400 to 500 watts per hour when everything is running at the same time. Now, as you can see here, I did not capture the time that I started this and the time that it ended. I know how long it powered my refrigerator for, but I normally capture it And I'm not sure if you can see the bottom of this iPad right here, but I didn't raise my camera enough. However, this was able to power my refrigerator for 16 hours. And at the end, as you can see here, it still had about 20, I think it was 21, 23% left. I'm going off of memory here because I took this video a while back. In addition to that, for the heck of it, even though I really don't recommend that you use power tools on these things, I went ahead and took this out and put it next to my saw because I needed to cut some wood. And as you can see here, that saw draws a good amount of wattage. It had absolutely no problem providing the energy that that saw needed. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've mentioned this before. Normally, I would not use my solar generators, any one, to power tools. But I want to show you that this thing is a beast. And to show you that it can actually handle the surge in wattage usage that you need to power something like this. I just need to cut a few boards for a form that I'm building. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, you keep your scrap wood. Because all I'm building is a small concrete form. And there's no way I'm going to use really good wood for that. Especially when it's just going to get ruined. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and plug it in, start it up, and make these cuts. And you'll see how easily it can handle the current usage from this saw. Doesn't matter which one. Go ahead and turn your power on. And we can see that, I'm not sure if you can see that very well because the light is hitting it, but it says 100%. We're going to turn on our AC, and I'm going to go ahead and give you a close-up when I turn on my AC, that way you can see. So as you can see, when none of the DC or AC buttons are pushed or activated, you see that there's nothing showing right here, okay? And once you push the AC button, you see that it shows that it's ready to execute. So let's go ahead and see what this thing does. Ladies and gentlemen, I just might voice over this because it's really windy outside right now and we've got planes flying over all the time. So I wanted to show you first how this beast, I think I'm going to call this the beast because this is an awesome solar generator, how it handles my air compressor. Now my air compressor, I think it takes around 900 to 1,000 watts, but we're going to plug in our air compressor and see how it handles that. And in addition to that, while we're running our air compressor off of it, I'm going to go ahead and unbox the solar panels that Oupes sent me, and we're going to charge the solar generator at the same time that we are using it to see how it does. It just happened to get a little bit sunny outside. It was really cloudy here about an hour ago, so I'm going to take advantage of this time to see how those solar panels work and see how much power they generate. So Oupes sent me a couple of pair of these solar panels. We're only going to go ahead and hook up two because as you saw, the solar generator, or the beast, it's almost full. I had it almost full because I didn't think we're going to get sunlight anytime soon. It's been raining here for the last few days. We're going to set up two of them and see what kind of power we can generate with these bad boys. I haven't seen them yet, but I'm pretty excited to open them up. I'm going to go ahead and set these up next to the smaller solar panels that they sent me last time when I reviewed the Oupes 1800, so you can see the size difference. And these are pretty much the same thing as the smaller ones, just in a larger configuration. You've got your pouch back here that opens all the way, and then you've got right here an 8mm connector. So you can hook up these solar panels to your 8mm ports, or you can go ahead and put the connector on here or the adapter that changes it to Anderson so that you can charge it with an Anderson adapter as well. And here is the Anderson connector that hooks into your 8mm. So it includes that as well. So as you can see, you can hook up two solar panels to one Anderson connector port. And as I showed you earlier, the Beast has two Anderson connector ports that you can hook into simultaneously. So in all actuality, you can hook up 4 solar panels to this beast over here. Now all that you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, to connect your 2 solar panel wires to your splicer, right, to your Anderson connector, is simple. Just plug them in. That's it. Now all we got to do is hook it up to our beast. I hope that you can see this because we do have a good amount of sun out now, but it was drawn down to 96% from 99 from the usage of the air compressor. So let's go ahead and plug in our Anderson and our solar panels and see if we can get an input and how much it is. Now there are the solar panels, and the other 2 small ones are behind it, so you can't really see it. See them? And there's our 2 ports, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to use one of the 2 top ports. And as you can see, it's pretty dummy proof because you have a red and a black, so you can only put it in one way. I'm not sure if you can hear the fan running, but that means that we've got energy coming in. And look at that, we've got 377, 380 watts coming in. It's fluctuating a little bit. This thing is a beast. I am very, very pleased with this. I think that naming it a beast as its nickname is proper. Now take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This is how I power the bunker. I actually have power going in through a female outlet that I put on the outside of the bunker, and then I connect the power to my house via a 20 amp wire. Alright, so now this power is going into my bunker, is keeping the solar generators that I have in there full, in addition to powering everything that I need to power inside of it. Now if for some reason we had a power outage, all I would need to do is hook up my solar panels to this solar generator and then go ahead and hook up. So we'll go ahead and plug it in, and you'll be able to see how much wattage is being used inside of the bunker right now. So less than 100 watts right now is being used. Obviously I have my computer on standby, and that's pretty much what's using most of the wattage in there. I've got the fan going. So this can literally run my bunker if I have solar panels hooked up to it, and it should be no problem running. And look at that, my computer is really going on standby now. I just walked out here, so that's probably what's happening. So right now the only thing that's running is probably just my fan. So I can go over all of the things that we can use this for, but I like that it's versatile. I like that it's a beast. You know, this thing is like a monster. It can do pretty much anything that you need it to do. With the exception is, I would say I would never try to use it to power a portable heater, because that's just too much drawing off of it. Although it will power a portable heater, you know, 1500 watts with no problem, but I just wouldn't do it with that. So the question is, would I purchase this solar generator? Ladies and gentlemen, I love this solar generator. I mean, I have to say that it's right up there with the Blue Eddy that I so much love. However, I have to be honest and say that this has a notch above Blue Eddy. So much so that, by the way, I am now affiliated with Oupes. This is the 3rd solar generator that I've reviewed for Oupes, and I'm so impressed with this solar generator, and I like it so much for what it is, for the size, for the price, that I decided to affiliate with them, because they're a good quality company as far as I can see. But this solar generator does more than the Blue Eddy. And I'm not throwing Blue Eddy under the bus. Blue Eddy, you know, I love the EB24 or 240. It's a great solar generator. However, for the same amount of storable wattage, 2400 watt hours, where in this case, this one's 2332. But for about the same amount of wattage that you're storing, with the Oupes, you have a much more output than you have with the Blue Eddy. With the Blue Eddy, you can only output about 1000 watts continuous, whereas with the Oupes, you've got 2400 watts of continuous pure sine wave power that you're putting out. I mean, this is such a great solar generator. I mean, it's my new favorite, I have to say it. So the price, as you can see on the screen, is $16.99. Yeah, by no means is it cheap. However, it is very competitive. When you use the $50 coupon code that will be provided on a pinned comment below this video, it comes out to $1649.99. So ladies and gentlemen, I approve of this. I think this is a great solar generator, in addition to the 1800 that I reviewed, and in addition to the 1200 that I reviewed. I reviewed all 3, and all 3 are good quality machines. I know that somebody emailed me here a few days back asking me about solar generators, and I went ahead and replied to that person and said, why don't you wait until this video comes out so you can take a look at what I think about this solar generator, because it's going to be debuting today actually. So if you want to take advantage of this price and the $50 coupon, I have a code for it below. If you want to use my link, it will be supporting this channel because I am affiliated with Oupes. All right, I think they're a great company, and I think this is a great solar generator, and I am very happy that they decided to allow me to review it for you all. Having said that, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all have a great day. God bless every one of you. And thank you very much to Oupes for allowing me to review this solar generator.